Okay, so, good morning and happy hump day, folks. Well, technically it was a little bit cooler yesterday. And who am I kidding? It's still hot. Oh gosh, it was hot. But that's really the only thing I have for my low, because yes, it really was quite a beautiful day. Let's see, what was my high? My high is I got a lot of important off-camera stuff done, which is wonderful. And my act of kindness was I called my mom and dad, because I love mom and dad. So let's talk about America's Got Talent, shall we? So I'll tell you what though, sometimes I forget, like, whenever I watch America's Got Talent, I always am amazed, like, what people could really define as, like, a talent, per se. And then there are some acts where, while impressive, how do you do better than that? Like, okay, last night's episode, a quite literal Guinness World Record was attempted to be broken. Which was funny because there's a Mel B, remember the Spice Girls, like, the Spice Girls are in the Guinness Book of World Records. For what? I can't remember. That was actually kind of funny. But this one woman was attempting to break the Guinness World Record for the longest usage of a hula hoop going around what they were saying, the bomb. And then, like, everyone in the audience was, like, proceeding to say, buttocks, booty, basically her butt. Basically as many times for an hour around her butt. That is, I'll be honest, I could never use a hula hoop, so already that's better than anything I could ever do. Which, I mean, listen, what she did was already impressive as enough, but, like, let's say for the sake of argument that you wanted to break the record, which I'm pretty sure, which she did. But, like, how do you go bigger than that? I mean, do you do 2 hula hoops around the bomb? Do you have 1 hula hoop around the bomb, but you have, like, 1 on each of your arms? How are you supposed to go bigger than this? It's just, it's different. I'll say that. A few acts really good. Chuck Adams' cover of Iris by the Goo Goo Dolls. Love that song. Iris is such a great song. The Bodyguards were good. That Isaac Johnson guy who fit things into his mouth. Oh, there's so many innuendos I could do. There's so many innuendos being made. I guarantee you there was a lot of people out there that were, like, photoshopping it so he was putting less than savory items in his mouth. That funeral director, funny, which, I mean, you do gotta have kind of a sick, twisted sense of humor to be funny, and considering that funeral directors literally deal with death on a regular basis, yeah, that's why it worked. The Ben Family Band, oh, they were awesome. Let's see. In my notes here. Okay. I need to talk about Sophia's golden buzzer, because I'm sure this has probably happened before. Actually, to my knowledge, I don't think this has happened before. But anyway, there's this one group called the Duo Stardust. They're basically like an acrobatics group where they actually competed on Britain's Got Talent. And Simon Cowell on that show is also one of the judges. Yes, he's a judge on America's Got Talent. He's a judge on Britain's Got Talent. Simon's a busy guy. Anyway, he said that Duo Stardust really wasn't very good. Sad to say. So they go on America's Got Talent and they get Sofia Vergara's golden buzzer. I mean, where do I even start? I mean, they literally show up on stage in roller skates. Which, roller skates to me are really, like, underrated in terms of how badass they can be. When used correctly, that is. I mean, again, it's underrated because it's difficult to make badass, but when you're able to pull it off, it's totally badass. And it was one point in that act where I did get a little bit nervous. Oh, not because, like, they were going to fire anything. They're trained professionals. Like, they probably done that act, like, 100 times, you know, to make sure they got it right. And they did. My problem was, I thought they were going to complain that the act was going on a little bit too long, which, thankfully, that wasn't the case. Of course, if you're going to make an act go for as long as it did, they quite literally added flair. Like, literal flair. Like, it's very clear that these are very specially designed roller skates because they made it so, like, as she, of the couple, was spinning in midair, like, the skates released, like, sparklers or sparks or whatever, and, like, sparks are flying everywhere. And it was really cool. I'm like, whoa. Like, it made Sofia Vergara stand up in applause. So, yeah, now you know why Sofia Vergara gave Duo Stardust the gold buzzer. Although what was funny, excuse me. What was funny is Duo Stardust clearly was there on a mission to, you know, see Simon Cowell again and, you know, improve upon what he did. And it was funny, before they do the act, Sofia Vergara, did Simon give you any constructive criticism? And they're like, yes, just like he always does. Which is funny. And what was nerve-wracking is during the act, like, Sofia leans to Simon, she's like, you've seen better than this? And Simon's like, yeah. I mean, listen, for my money, the greatest duo act I personally have ever seen was Duo Transcend. Because they made it, if you don't remember, when they had America's Got Talent, the Champion Season 2, Duo Transcend was in the top 3. In fact, they came in second place. The Unbeatable was the act. It was Tyler Bella Figueroa, Duo Transcend, The Unbeatable, as in 3, 2, 1. And I mean, to this day, I still get chills thinking, like, those are the 3 acts I want to see in the top 3, and they actually, like, I still get chills thinking about that, because it's so, like, it's so cool when you make a prediction like that, and you wind up being right. It's so awesome. Anyway, so what Duo Stardust did, most impressive. And so, you know, they finished the act. Sofia, you're like, I have to give you this. I'm gonna give him the golden buzzer. And Simons plays off like, listen, I don't want to be the one to take credit here. Because remember what Simon had said, that they weren't very good? It was just, this really was a fun act. This was a fun act, it was. I mean, honestly, some of the best acts are the ones where you really do feel for the performers. Especially when, you know, they actually have a story that's like, you hear it and like, I want to root for them. Like, again, like Duo Stardust being told no by Simon once already, or, you know, having been displaced in the Eaton fire, like the Ben family band was. I mean, listen, no matter where you go in life, no matter how good of a person you think you are, or no matter how talented you might be, someone is just going to say no. That doesn't necessarily mean they don't like you or they don't think you're not talented. It's just one of those things where they just say no and you can't let it get to you. You know, take it on the chin, take it with a grain of salt. You're never going to please or entertain everybody you see. I mean, take me for instance. I've been making videos for years now, and only just recently has anyone famous even recognized me, like Scott Mayo did, which is great, but for the most, like, that's like lightning, that's like capturing lightning in a bottle. It's really hard to quantify just how difficult it can be to try and stand out or do something that others aren't doing. And you just gotta say, like, do what works for you and don't quit. Especially when, like, because let's say for the sake of argument, you really have exhausted all your resources. And then you decide, you know what, I did all I could. There's nothing I can do. I clearly am not going to be able to please the people I want to please. I'm not in the wrong for doing this. I don't think I'm a bad person, yada, yada, yada. Well, for starters, if you probably should consider, you know, what people you're trying to impress. More importantly, you know, let's say for the sake of argument, you do wind up quitting. With the kind of luck a person normally has when they do that, that one thing that would have changed everything always happens right when they're done. That's why, in fact, that's actually why I'm still here. Like if I keep doing what I'm doing, I know for a fact people will take notice. It'll probably take a long time, sure. But you know what? I'm willing to be patient. Especially when I'm having a lot of fun doing this. So I can't really complain. And, I mean, think of it this way. If I had stopped making videos long ago, I don't think I would have ever met the people I've gotten a chance to know. Or be able to reconnect with the people that I've known forever. Or, like the other day, having Scott Mayo recognize a video that I did. So, it's just a matter of having a little bit of faith and hope. And just being who you are. And yeah, there's going to be days where, you know, you don't want to do it. There's going to be days where, you know, you want to stop or, you know, whatever. But that's normal. I can guarantee you, the people who are the greatest at whatever it is they did, like Serena Williams being the tennis player that she became, or John Jones being the fighter that he became. Speaking of which, John Bones Jones, congratulations on a well-deserved retirement. You know, personally, I didn't need to see you fight anymore to prove what I already know, and that's you are the GOAT. He's never going to watch this, but if he does, you know, there you go. I guarantee you, there were plenty of days in their careers where they really didn't feel like doing anything in terms of training or doing the things they know they had to do to get better. And I'm sure there was probably a day or two where they took the day off just for that reason. But that doesn't mean they stopped completely. They went right back to work. And it re-energized them. It revitalized them. And that's what I mean. Here's the thing. I've never actually said I don't want to make a video. I mean, thankfully, after all this time, I've still never gotten to the point where I never want to make a video. In fact, full stop, I've grown to love doing this so much, I genuinely feel horrible if I have to wait however long I have to make a video. That's how much I've grown to love doing this. I mean, maybe a day will come when, that's actually one thing that also worries me too. Because let's say I actually get famous doing this and I actually get paid for it. That's literally the biggest obstacle there is. It's not the doubt. It's not people saying no. It's reaching that goal and asking yourself, now what? That's why, Conor McGregor fell off as a fighter. That's why, it's staying hungry, You gotta find ways to keep doing that. Oh, listen, I'm a big guy and I'm hungry all the time. So I don't think you gotta worry about that with me. Man, it really is amazing what you can learn watching America's Got Talent, isn't it? That said, last night's episode was a lot of fun. They're going to be doing auditions for a good while longer, and we get to August, September. We'll see what happens after that. I hope you like this video. If you like this YouTube channel, follow me on social media. As always, I'm very homie. This video for all you guys watching Joe Fernando. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Wednesday. And remember, if you guys want to talk to me, here to let me know. Back. Take care. Make good choices. 607 all day, baby.